Good morning, Conrad here and
John.
We are in Sula at some kind of hot springs overnight. Today we get to climb. We go up. We're at 5,000 feet elevation. We're going to climb up to 7,200 feet in a little bit, and then down to Wisdom, Montana.
Mm-hmm. And Wisdom is in the Big Hole Valley. And if you look at a map, it's just this giant valley surrounded by mountains. That's what they call the Big Hole. And so we had only 33 miles that day. So
yeah, it
was a short day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a hard climb to start with.
Yes, it was.
I forget the name of the pass that we climbed up over. I should have looked that up, but I'll put it in the notes below here.
Yeah.
You make it, John. We're making it.
Got up over the pass and then down, really long downhill into the Big Hole Valley. So the camping sign said back there, food storage required.
Yeah, I saw that. A picture of a bear.
Yeah, picture of a bear, yeah. 11 miles to Wisdom. We stopped at the Big Hole National Battlefield. Apparently there was some kind of battle there some years ago. Mm-hmm. And so we stopped to get a picture, and we immediately noticed, like, there's mosquitoes.
All over the place.
All over the place. And we're like, oh, we got to get on the road and ride.
Yes.
And so riding fast was important to get away from the mosquitoes. But we learned later that the reason these mosquitoes are in the Big Hole Valley, there's a lot of agriculture there, and the farmers grow alfalfa hay. And so to grow that, they have to flood the fields.
Oh, really?
So they flood the fields to put moisture in the ground, and then they drain that to harvest the crop. And so while that water's sitting there, the mosquitoes come.
Okay.
And so
sense.
once the water's gone, there's no more mosquitoes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
we just happened to be there at the wrong time.
But they said if you'd have been there like 2 weeks later, it'd have been really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would have been the worst time.
So we didn't hit
We
the
were
peak.
there just at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
So if you're ever riding through that area, know that this was later, like the last week of May.
Yeah.
So that's the time when the mosquitoes are starting to come. So just be aware of that. You may want to get some mosquito netting or something to wear to protect yourself. Not as bad as Alaska, some of the videos we saw from Alaska.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just be aware of that. We stayed at this motel in town, very small town. I think I saw some places like 150 people live in Wisdom.
Yeah.
Very small town. And he's laughing because he knows what's happening.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him.
So we were riding up, and by the way, it was a beautiful day. Gorgeous day.
Beautiful.
Rode up to the motel, and the door to the manager's office was open, and we stopped right in front of it. And we stopped, and I kind of had forgotten to do something, which was...
you got to turn your foot to get your shoe out of the clip. Unclip your shoe before you fall.
So, roll in, excited to be at the motel. Boom! I flopped over. Yeah. Embarrassed because the manager came running out. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
I'm trying not to laugh out loud. Because that happened to me a lot in training before we left. I don't know if I fell. Maybe I might have fallen once, but he fell on the trip. I did all my falling beforehand.
But anyway, I was fine.
Yeah.
Little bruised on the shoulder, but
Yeah.
otherwise I was fine. But yeah, it was a great place. I really enjoyed that place. That evening I went out and just watched the sunset, and the light there was beautiful across the valley, hitting the mountains toward the east, and just a beautiful location.
Good morning, everybody, from
Morning.
Wisdom, Montana.
Yes.
John, how'd you sleep last night?
I slept very good last night.
Today we ride down to
Dillon.
Dillon, Montana, about 66 miles or so.
So day 16, we got up in Wisdom in our little motel there, which was, by the way, was awesome. So highly recommend. I'll put the name of it down here. So we were looking for breakfast.
We were supposed to go to a restaurant we had dinner at the night before, but they
were closed.
They were closed. They didn't open until later, and we were getting out early. So
yeah, because we had 67 miles that day, so we needed to get going. Well, there was the only other option in town was the gas station / grocery store.
Yes.
So we got in there and we got some burritos, I believe.
They weren't bad.
They weren't bad.
No.
Stuck them in the microwave, had some fresh coffee there, and we sat down at this table. Well, there was an old gentleman sitting there, and we're like, "Hey, man, you mind if we join you here?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure, go ahead."
Badger Bob.
I was like, "What's your name?" Badger Bob. I mean, you gotta talk like he did.
Yeah.
My name's Badger Bob.
Badger Bob. And he told us the whole story about why he's called Badger Bob.
And why was he called Badger Bob?
I'm trying to remember.
So he said, when I was a youngster, I pulled a badger out of a hole with my bare hands and I killed it with my bare hands. So the name stuck. You know, with a name like Bob, everybody has a name like Bob, so it's kind of common, but you don't forget Badger Bob.
And that's what he said to us. He goes, that's why he always says, I'm Badger Bob.
That's right.
He doesn't say just Bob, he always has Badger in the
So
front.
if you're going through Wisdom, Montana, make sure you stop at the grocery store, gas station. Badger Bob will be there that morning.
Yes.
In the morning, drinking a cup of coffee.
And if he isn't, he's fixing windows on Main Street.
He's fixing windows on Main Street because he is the local handyman. So, Badger Bob, if you're looking at this, hello. It's great talking to you. Hope you're doing well.
Take care, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, day 16 was amazing. 67 miles, 2,600 feet of elevation gain from Wisdom to Dillon through Jackson, Montana.
Yeah.
It's a town that you blink and you're going through it. And there was nothing open. We were hoping to get some lunch there. There was nothing open. Beautiful, beautiful ride.
Just gorgeous.
Just amazing scenery through the Big Hole Valley, the southern end of the Big Hole Valley, and into the hills there, just by Jackson. There was a big sweeping curve climb to the top of that mountain.
Yep.
And there was a guy in an old car sitting up there that came up to us.
Yeah.
He looked like he had a bunch of junk in the back. I don't know what his deal was, but I got a bad vibe from this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to get out of here because we're going to end up in this trunk someplace. Because he was like going off into the back country.
Yeah, he just took off down
the dirt road. But then soon he came back, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, we got to get out of here. Yeah, it was. So you never know. I mean, most people are really super nice that you meet, but you know, some guy in a car that's you're not sure about.
Maybe he was just shy and needed to use the facilities.
Maybe so. Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, we ended up all the way over to Dillon. I remember coming into town, there was a lot of construction in Dillon, and we ended up at the Best Western there on the northern end of town.
That's right. That's
and
right.
we had dinner at the Den.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a great
It was
meal.
a steak dinner.
Steak dinner, absolutely.
First steak dinner of the trip,
Yeah,
I think.
it was fantastic food.
Yeah.
So yeah, day 16 was great. It was very scenic.
Yeah.
We were able to stop to see some scenery, and wasn't too much traffic. If I remember, there was a
No.
little bit of truck traffic, but not much.
Nothing serious.
In pretty remote areas.
Yes.
Really remote areas. But yeah, and Montana is so big, and we were actually only in a very small part of Montana.
It's true, like right on the
Just on
right
the,
on the what
east,
is it,
the western
edge.
edge of Montana. Yeah, but it's big sky country. I mean, that's what it's called, and so it truly is big sky country.
And I remember like the later part of that day, there was a straightaway that just went on.
Yeah.
And one of my uncles was like, "How long are some of them roads? Some of them pictures you're sending." But it was true. I mean, you just get on the road and you just see the line go to nowhere.
The one was it that day we measured a part of the road, and from the time we started measuring, it was 10 miles straight.
Yeah, that's the one.
Perfectly straight,
Yep,
10
yep,
miles.
yep,
Not a
exactly.
curve. You could have just fallen asleep in your car and just going straight.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
But yeah, it was just the scenery there was just spectacular, and I love it. And yeah, I want to go back.
Yeah, I did.
So that was day 16.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens day 17.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
How you feeling, John?
Feeling pretty good. A little chilly this morning. Right about 50 degrees. That's all right. We'll be warming up in a little bit.
How you feel about today's ride?
I feel pretty good about it. Hopefully the weather cooperates and the Lord pushes us through.
Going to Twin Bridges and then over to Ennis.
Ennis, that's correct.
Yeah, this morning we are in Dillon. Got about, 71 miles or so?
Yeah, about 71.
So it'll be a challenging day. Got a big hill at the end and chance of thunderstorms along the way. So we're praying that we have much success like we had yesterday, avoiding the storms.
Yes.
So yesterday we were really fortunate, thankful that we didn't get wet. Hopeful today that we won't get wet either.
All right, here we are, day 17 on our coast-to-coast ride. 72 miles this day,
Yeah.
2,694 feet of elevation.
It was a long ride.
It was a long ride. Dillon to Ennis.
Still into Ennis.
And how we did this, there was another route that we had mapped out earlier, but it came through some backcountry
dirt roads.
and we were pretty leery about that. So we ended up going northeast all the way to Twin Bridges,
Right.
and then back down. It was, made the ride longer, but I think it was safer.
Yeah.
Other than about getting hit by a truck.
Right. One time it was real close.
It was 2 semi trucks past us, full. That they didn't slow down at all. And we had no shoulder,
No.
nothing. It was a white line in the ditch. And it was really scary.
Yeah.
But that day, that first part of that day, the first 20 miles, we had a tailwind.
That's true.
And it just pushed us all the way up to Twin Bridges. And
was
we were like,
nice.
man, what an easy day.
Yeah. We got there quick too.
We were cruising. I mean, 15, 18 miles an hour.
I can remember they had a nice little mini grocery store there, right?
Grocery store there.
A little coffee shop inside.
Coffee shop. Yep.
A real good coffee.
We stopped for like an hour, I think.
We did a lot of pictures sitting in the chairs out front,
Just
relaxing.
Yeah. That was a fun day. So from there, from Ennis, then we kind of went back southeast.
Yeah.
And all the way down into the mountains, and then up to Virginia City. But before we came to Virginia City, we ran into another cyclist coming the other way.
That's right.
A gentleman from the Netherlands that was riding from the East Coast to the West Coast. And he was like, finally, I get to see some other riders. Apparently he'd been by himself, most of the time. So he was
had
excited.
some people that he had met that were coming the same route.
Yeah.
But he said, they're behind me somewhere. I think they'll catch up.
Yeah. But it was nice to see somebody else, struggling as we were at times,
True.
but he was going east to west, which if you're from Europe, just fly all the way to the West Coast and go west to east. It's so much easier.
Exactly.
Heading to Virginia City that way, about 3 miles. praying these thunderstorms stay away.
Virginia City, historic little mountain town,
Really
cowboy
cool.
town.
It looks like got something from the old West. Has the wooden boards for the porches.
Yep.
Like you'd see in an old Western town. It was
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
was really cool. I think we had to pump up your tire there,
Yeah.
just because they were getting low. But then we had rain.
Yeah, we're a little wet. Climbing a hill.
And we stopped there because it was raining.
Right.
And we heard some thunder, saw some lightning. We're like, you know what? It's probably not best to go way up above the tree line and up the mountain.
So we waited.
We waited, but then we're like, well, we got to go.
We've ridden in rain before.
And it was a really hard climb.
It was.
A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning
All around us.
all around us. Pretty scary.
Yeah.
All the way to the top. We had some mean drivers that we called certain names, but standing in this field. Okay. And
Oh, we did. A lot of hand signals.
we had an asshole rating.
Yes, we did.
We had an asshole rating, and this guy was at the top.
Yeah, he was the
He didn't flip us off. At least I didn't see it. But
Right.
He called us some names, some four-letter
Yes,
words.
yes.
But anyway, we made it to the top, and the top was really flat.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it was like the views opened up.
Oh my god.
And I remember the sunlight hitting the ridge, 30 miles away. It was absolutely stunning.
We were flying.
And we were 8 miles downhill.
And it was the road
In the
was
rain.
wet too. It
Wet
did stop
roads.
at one point.
It did.
But the road was soaked.
And we were flying down that hill.
Nice long turns. Oh, it's gorgeous.
And, the storm was behind us. And as we were going down the hill, we met another cyclist coming up, this young lady.
Young lady, right?
Fully loaded bicycle.
Fully loaded. Two big panniers on that thing.
And I was just like, oh man, I feel so bad for you.
She had a long climb ahead.
She
of
had
her.
a long climb ahead. She had an 8-mile climb.
Yeah.
And it was not an easy climb.
No.
And so I felt, if perhaps you were that one,
Yes.
late May of 23, and you were climbing that mountain into the storm, reach out, say hi.
Yes.
But anyway, that night we got to stay in the RV.
Yeah. Well, I did lose my battery charger coming down the hill. Well, we're flying. We're probably doing what? Probably in the 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
Going down there, and all of a sudden I hear this kick, like something skidding. It almost sounds like a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Skidding. I look back and my solar charger is totally gone. And I wasn't going to stop and try to find it. By the time I'd have stopped, that'd have been 2 miles down the road.
Yeah.
So we just kept on going. And
So
got
part
to
of part of what we had, we wanted to make sure our phones kept charged, and so I found these amazing chargers, really heavy duty battery packs with a solar panel on top.
Mm-hmm.
And if you went into the day with that thing fully charged, it stayed fully charged all day.
Yep.
Because of that solar. So we had these strapped to the back of the bike on top of our luggage, top of our panniers, and we had cables that came up to the phone.
Yep, up
that
through the frame and
kept our phones charged, and it was a great setup. But he lost his. It was a great day. It was a long day. It was a hard day, and we got to the RV just in time because remember they had a storm hit the RV.
Yeah.
And it blew like the dickens.
it was windy as heck.
It was
And the clouds,
really windy.
clouds looked nasty going over the hills
Nasty.
afterwards.
Had these
too.
really strange looking formations over the
Well,
mountains.
that's the west. I mean, the west storms out in the west are crazy.
Yeah. But it was a great day. Rain. We had a really good meal that night at a really expensive restaurant.
Yeah,
It was kind of the only
They put us on the
option.
back porch.
Yeah, they put us on the back because we didn't even have a shower, did we?
I think we did get shit.
Did we get showers? Okay.
But still, I mean, we just in t-shirts and
Yeah,
shorts.
we
It was
weren't
kind of a
dressed
nice
for like a
place.
nice restaurant, so they were
Right.
like, "Hey, you guys can sit out on the porch."
Do you mind sitting out there? We didn't. I was going to say, do we have a choice?
Yeah.
We were hungry.
We were hungry.
We didn't want to ride our bikes. We just
Yeah.
wanted to eat there.
So, because it would have been like a 2 or 3 mile ride to get dinner, so this was right at the campground there. So, that's the end of day 17. Thanks for watching, everybody. Join us again next time for a brand new episode, and we'll make it all the way to the East Coast. Thanks for watching.
How was the climb up the hill?
That was great.
I did it twice. I went up one side, down the other, and then came back up, and then down this way.
Well, we only were going to do it once.
Yes, yes. Well,
Like, I think I was supposed to. Okay, no cell service, so I ended up pulling off and setting up the satellites, trying to figure out.